Hi, I'm Sherry here at the Little Beading Closet. Join me as we make one of these beautiful beaded tassel pendants. There are really some beautiful Czech glass beads out there. These large hole Rondel beads are 6 by 9, and I wanted to incorporate them into a beautiful pendant. And the tassel at the bottom just finishes it off. The amount of glass used on each one of these beads really magnifies their beauty. The hard part is picking out which color to use. We're going to begin by making the top part of the pendant here. It's finished on both sides. Then making the tassel end and attaching it all together. Let's take a close-up look at all of our supplies. You're going to need 5 of the large hole Rondel beads, 10 size 6 seed beads, 8 size 8 seed beads, and size 11 seed beads, and 1 jump ring to attach your pendant to a necklace or cord of your choice. And I'll start with 26 inches of wildfire on a size 12 beading needle. You could use a size 10 or 12 beading needle, just whatever you prefer. We're going to begin by making the top part of the pendant, and then secondly we'll make the tassel and attach it all together. Begin by picking up 20 of the size 11 seed beads. Bring them down near the end of your thread, and then string on 4 of your Rondel beads. As we add these to our thread, the size 11 seed beads are going to sit inside of the rondels. I have just a little bit of tail here that I'll be using to tie a knot between my size 11 seed beads. Just want to make sure you pull that tight. Then needle a few beads away from the knot by coming through some of the size 11 seed beads and exiting between the size 11 and the rondel. You no longer need the tail, and it's best to go ahead and trim it off. The next step is using 1 size 6 seed bead, 1 size 11, and 1 size 6. Exiting this rondel, just come through the next one. Repeat that step all the way around your piece, coming only through the rondels. The third set. And then when you come through the rondel this time, just exit before the size 6 seed bead. Working with the size 8 seed beads now, we'll pick one up. Coming out of our rondel here, come through the next one. And just repeat that all the way around your piece. Putting 1 size 8 on top of the size 11 seed beads underneath it. Now we're picking up the last one and coming back through the rondel. We've done that on this side, but we also want to do it on the other side. Now that we have all 4 of our size 8 seed beads here on this side, come through 1 more size 8 and needle through the rondel. We're going to flip it over in our hand, pick up 1 size 8 and come into the next rondel. This time we'll be putting the size 8s on top of the size 11s here on this side. for a total of 4 times. Putting on my last size 8 on this side, I'll come through the rondelle, needle through the first 8 that you added, and needle through the rondelle bead, and if you can, also the size 6 above it. We're working out here towards the outside edge. I'm going to turn the whole piece of my hand and come through the 11 and next size 6. Picking up 5 of the size 11 seed beads, needle into the next size 6 and 11. Pull those along the edge of your rondelle and repeat that all the way around, coming through the next 6. You're just putting 5 size 11 seed beads between each size 6 seed bead on either side of your rondelle. Picking up the last 5 seed beads and needling into the 6 on the other side. Next, we're just going to add this large pondo stitch up here at the top. Continue needling along your edge until you're exiting the 3rd seed bead here. Picking up 8 more of the size 11 seed beads. Needle back through the size 11 that your thread is exiting. Needle through 2 of the size 11s. Picking up 1 more size 11, coming through the next 2. Picking up 1 more size 11, needle through the next 2. And then 1 more size 11, coming through the next 2. And again, needle back through the size 11 down here at the base. Coming along my edge through my size 6 seed bead, adding a half hitch knot by placing my needle underneath all the thread. And back through the loop that was formed and pulling a knot onto the thread. Then do that again by coming through 11 and size 6, and I'll add another half hitch knot. I'll just continue along the edge and add a half hitch knot on the other side of each size 6 seed bead, securing everything into place. The only thing left to do is trim off the tail. To get the tassel started, you should have one of your rondelle beads and 2 size 6 seed beads left, but we'll move those over to the side for now. Concentrating on our size 11 seed beads, we're going to start off with a basic ladder stitch. Starting out with 5 feet of wildfire on my size 12 beading needle. Wildfire will give you a little bit of a stiffer filling tassel. This one was done with Fireline. It's a little bit more free-flowing. Begin by picking up 4 of the size 11 seed beads and bringing them down near the end of your thread. And then needle back through the first 2 seed beads. Pulling them together. and then step down into the next 2. Picking up 2 more seed beads, needle back down the 2 that you just went through, and you want those 2 seed beads to sit along the side, and then needle back up through them. We have 3 columns started. We're going to be doing a total of 5, picking up 2 more seed beads and coming back through the 2 here on the edge, and then step down through the 2 that we just added, and then picking up 2 more size 11 seed beads, needling back down through the 2 that we just added, and then stepping back up into the 2 on the end. We're going to get these beads evened up by walking back through all of them, so coming down the 2 beside the ones that are on the end, up the next 2, pulling the thread together, closing the gap, coming back down the next 2, and then stepping into the 2 on this end. I'm finished with the tail, and I'll trim it off. I've picked up 21 of the size 11 seed beads on my needle, and I'll bring them up next to the strip that we made. Skipping over the very last bead on the end, you want to needle back through all the seed beads. You can do them all at one time or just a few at once until you're coming out up here at the very top. And just pull it until the size 11 at the bottom is nice and tight against your strand of beads. And then needle down into the next 2 beads. Repeat that process for all 5. Once you have all 5 tassels attached, we're going to connect this side and this side together. Folding it in on itself. Needle down 2 seed beads next to the ones that you're coming out of. And then come back up the 2 beside it. And pull the thread between the beads. Now that you have your tassel started, and now we're going to add 1 more tassel strand. Needle down through the center of the tassel, opening it up so you can see that you have the center here, and adding 21 seed beads just like before. I'm going to put 1 more tassel right here in the middle, skipping over the last seed bead on the end and coming back through all the ones here and emerging out the top through the large middle hole. Let's attach our tassel to the top of the pendant using the size 6 seed beads and our rondel. Bring those down to the top of our tassel. I'm just going to take the thread that's coming out of my size 6 seed bead and needle through the middle size 11 here at the bottom, and then pull my tassel up tightly against that bead. Needle back down through the size 6, the rondelle, and the next 6. You're going to want to find the center strand of your tassel and make sure you needle into those size 11s, coming down through all of them. I think I'll come through part at a time, and then exiting at the end just before the very last seed bead. Make sure you pull everything tight. Needle through the seed bead on the end, and just double check to make sure everything is pulled tight. And then needle back up through those size 11s, the 6, the rondelle, and the 6 at the very top. I don't have much needle to grab onto, so I'll just use a pair of pliers to grab it and pull it through. Let's finish off our thread. Exiting the size 6, needle back through the size 11 here at the very bottom. Turning the work in my hand. I'm going to start needling along the edge, coming through the next 6, and adding a half hitch knot after the size 6 seed bead. Again, needling through the edge, placing my half hitch knots after the size 6 seed beads, and then I'll needle through a few of the seed beads before I trim off my thread. As always, I appreciate you watching and hope you have a beautiful day.